Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to switch up my usual bright and crazy nail designs with something a little bit more simple and elegant. This is my first time doing a 3D rose in what seems like forever, but it's really only been about 4 or 5 years. And it's also my first time doing an ombre with acrylic, so I hope you all enjoyed this design. To make the 3D rose, I dip my number 5 3D acrylic brush in Monomer, then I dip it into white acrylic powder, and then immediately after I dip it into a light pink acrylic powder, and then I just place that on my nail and I spread it out to form the petals. So I just keep repeating this technique until I have enough petals and I like how the flower looks. And the last bead of acrylic goes right in the center of the rose, and I like to make that bead quite wet because I dip the tip of the brush in to make a hole in the center of the rose. On my pinky and index nails, I'm applying a fine gold glitter first because I'll be applying another chunky gold glitter mix on top. And I always like using a fine glitter first because it adds depth and it covers up any bald spots that might appear if you just use the chunky mix. So the first glitter I'm using is sort of like a pale gold glitter with light and dark gold glitter mixed together. And it's from Glitter Heaven, Australia, and it's their champagne gold glitter. Now I'm applying another gold glitter mix on top, and this is sort of like a rose goldish kind of glitter mix, and it's from Glitter Heaven, Australia, of course, and it's called Pink Champagne. It's one of my favorite glitter mixes. It's just so elegant and classy, and it's gold, and I love anything that's gold, and especially rose gold, so I thought this would look perfect. I want to send a quick shout out to Kim from Sheba Nails for allowing me to try their acrylic products. I really had a lot of fun using their products to create the ombre effect and making the 3D roses. So this is my first time ever doing an ombre nail with acrylic, and the first time I filmed this, I switched up my camera angle and I was totally out of frame, of course. So I popped off that nail and I'm refilming it, and the first color I'm using is a very pale pink with a slight shimmer, and it's called Blossom from Sheba Nails. I'm just picking up a medium-sized bead of the Blossom acrylic and I apply it a little bit above where the nail tip is, and then I blend it down, and I apply another bead of the Blossom acrylic powder and I blend it up. Now I'm using a slightly darker pink acrylic powder, and this is Pale Rose from Sheba Nails. Now on camera you're like, this is not ombre. They look exactly the same, but in the pictures and in real life you can see the ombre effect. And it's a really nice light pink color, sort of a mauve, nude, light pink I guess. I'm terrible at describing colors, but it's just a really nice light nude pink. Once the acrylic is dried, it's time to encapsulate, and I'm using the Sheba Nails Liquid Monomer and their clear acrylic. And the brush I'm using is from Alpha Brush, and it's their size 14 oval Kolinsky brush. As you know, I always use this brush for encapsulation. It just picks up the perfect bead of acrylic. It spreads nicely. They're just my favorite brushes to use. When I encapsulate the roses, I like to use a wet bead of acrylic. I do this to prevent air bubbles from forming on the roses, and it also makes the acrylic easier to work with. Now when I'm encapsulating glitter, I do use a slightly drier bead of acrylic because it's not really necessary to use a wet bead of acrylic when you're just encapsulating glitter. Once the acrylic is dried, I'm going to go in with a 100 grit hand file and I'm going to shape the sides. And I didn't have to file the surface of the acrylic, I just had to use a fine grit buffer because the acrylic is super clear. It has great clarity, so there's really no need, or for how I applied it, there's really no need to go in with a file, just a buffer. I decided not to encapsulate the 3D roses on my middle nail because I just liked how they looked with the 3D effect, but I also really love how they look on my thumbnail after I encapsulated those roses. I just wanted a nice mix of encapsulated roses and 3D roses for this nail design. Now I'm going in with a gel top coat. Mine went blank for a second there, but I'm just going in between the roses and applying gel top coat, and I cure this in my UV lamp for 2 minutes. And this is the Easy Flow True Gel, so once it's cured I do have to wipe off the tacky layer, and I just use 99% alcohol to remove that sticky layer. And I'm just going to apply the same gel top coat to the rest of my nails and cure again for 2 minutes. And here's the final look. I absolutely love how these nails turned out, and I had so much fun making them. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed this nail design.